We have a challenge. The greatest challenge in the history of humanity. There's a world to save. Each and every one of us must rethink, reprogram ourselves, and change the way that we usually do things. The construction industry makes up around 40% of our total CO2 emissions. The king of wasteful thinking, really. Drastic change is required to reduce our new build carbon footprint from the current 1,000 kilograms of CO2 per square meter down to 300 kilograms, which is the 2030 target. That's steep, but not impossible. And above all, necessary. And it has to be a team effort, where every detail counts when building a new construction standard. At NorDan, we try to lead by example. We've done it for nearly 100 years now. We try to do our part by improving ourselves through our products. More than 90% of an ordinary NorDan window frame is made from timber, which is a natural carbon sink. It keeps the embodied carbon figures among the lowest in the industry, with CO2 emissions from NorDan less than half of it.
Welcome everybody to the final game. That's right, we've had 7 so far this weekend. This is the 8th and final one. And for the Scottish fans out there, it'll be a big one for you as well, because Livingston are going up against the North East Manchester Hawks. And you can see in the background, Livingston have a whole cohort of people here supporting them. But this is the final. We've had the 2 third place playoffs. We've had one final for the women's as well. Olympia came out in 3rd in the men's against EK82 earlier on. That was in the 12 o'clock throw-off. But this is it. The big one for the men's division. North East Manchester Hawks doing chasing the same as what Olympia women's are chasing. They're one step closer to securing victory over the West London Eagles just before. And that is to get the treble for the season. The English League, the British Super Cup, and the English National Cup. That's what North East Manchester Hawks target is. Livingston, after winning the Scottish League, lost out the Scottish Cup, so they can't do the treble, but they're desperate to at least get a double so far in this season. Speaking of Livingston, let's go through it. Keir Hunter is in goal, number 1. Number 2, Kostas Kostanas is 3, Dean Webster. Number 4, Chris White. Number 5, Blair Schlacken. Number 7, Ross Strachan. Number 8, Ross Gannon. Number 9, Ross Maneta. Number 10, Matthew Estevans. Number 11, Ben Elliott. Number 12, Sam McEwen. Number 13, Josh Mabon. Number 15, Sean Byron. Number 17, Lewis Gannon. Number 19, Dallas Callahan. And number 23, Rory Semple. We've got Alan Stokes on the bench, Alan Strachan and Taylor Hoven joining him. Manchester Hawks then. Number 1, Tom Marsden. Number 3, Carl Barnes. Number 4, Ed Page. Number 5, Fraser Muir. Number 6, Stefan Whaley. Number 7, Johnny Howarth. Number 8, Ryan Goodwin. Number 14, John Amelia. Number 18, Jared James. Number 21, Alex Bradley. Number 24, Patrick Maja. Number 45, Jamal Braithwaite. Number 55, Mauro Cardona. Number 91, Tailson Borges. And number 95, Mark Howard. And on the bench will be Donna Hankinson. Emily Madison is also here, but is currently outside taking care of Donna Hankinson's dog. Donna brought it all the way from Manchester, thinking that it would be a dog-friendly scenario, and unfortunately they're not allowed in the sports hall. So Emily Madison's had to give up her bench place and is taking care of Donna's dog. Our 2 referees that you've just seen give a little bit of a wave from Gothenburg, Matthias Falt and Michael Holm. As I said, this is the final game of the weekend. A big thank you, if I forget at the end, which hopefully I won't, to everybody who's tuned in, whether you've watched all 16 hours of our coverage or however long it's been, whether you've just tuned in for this particular game, supported one particular team. It's been an absolute honour being your host for this weekend. And I can't wait to see it off with a brilliant game here. I haven't spoken too much to the Livingston team, but I know Hawks, they're not sure about this one. I don't know whether it's nervous about Livingston or nervous about their own performance and how they turned up, but they weren't too happy about their game yesterday against EK. A little bit too close for comfort from their perspective. Didn't defend very well. Attack was a bit disjointed and individualistic. And that's the words of Donna Hankinson, who you can see giving the Hawks one last little bit of instruction and pep talk. Livingston, however, sealed out a convincing victory against Olympia's men's. Strong defence, structured attack. A few inspirational individual performances as well helped them along the way. There is Ross Strachan, who was superb in the defence for Livingston on the point of a tight, compact 3-2-1. But the North East Manchester Hawks, they play in a very different manner to Olympia. Olympia really do rely on very powerful backcourt, taking contacts, riding tackles, and overloading, either doing shots from the backcourt or overloading towards the wings after taking the distraction from a couple of other players in defence. North East Manchester Hawks, they're more fluid, they're more aggressive. First and second phase is where they really thrive. Slick movement is what they want to do. How can Livingston approach this one? Customary high fives all around. We start out, it looks like, for Manchester Hawks, a Fraser Moore on the right wing, Ed Page, number 4, on the right back, Ryan Goodwin at centre, Cardona at left back, Patrick Madger at left wing, and Johnny Howarth in the line. Ryan Goodwin, really the architect of the play for Manchester Hawks, tries to get it to Patrick Madger. It's a good interception there by Dean Webster, just to interrupt a little bit of the flow early on here. Livingston, as I said, very good defensive structure. Ed Page gets through, but it's a good save by, I think it's Tom Marsden, no, it's Keir Hunter. Starting in goal, Ross Strachan tries to go through the centre of the Hawks defence. I got the Hunters wrong a little bit earlier on, apparently. There is a Ewan Hunter who plays for EK82 in goal. There's a Keir Hunter who plays in goal for Livingston today. And there's also another Ewan Hunter who is the CEO of Scottish Handball. Now, I said that Ewan was related to Ewan, but actually it's Keir is related to Ewan as the CEO. So a little bit of confusion. And I probably haven't really cleared things up with that little explanation either. But Keir Hunter, the goalkeeper for Livingston, the son of the CEO of Scottish Handball, Ewan Hunter. Goalkeeper of EK82, Ewan Hunter, is in no relation whatsoever to either of them. As Manchester Hawks try and get up to the other end and try and test Keir. I've also been told that Keir's friends texted him saying that the commentator on the live stream didn't give him much credit yesterday after he conceded a few goals. I missed that he also saved quite a few. I do believe I gave him the credit. He played a very good game yesterday, but equally, I'll keep an eye out for that this time round. Goodwin trying to squeeze his way through. Inches away from it. Here is Cardona trying to ride the tackle of Matthew Estevans. I have to say, the Livingston team defence was impressive, but their player-to-player defence was equally good as well. And that's a good start there by Keir. Estevans to the line. And it's a goal for Livingston. Blair Strachan with his first, and the first of the game. Good little line movement. Good dragging of them across. Moore and Ed Page on the right then. Cardona trying to find Patrick Madger. They were vital in the game against EK yesterday. Goodwin trying to find Cardona. Strachan's on the floor. Bounce into Johnny Howarth. Couldn't get the ball away though. A lot of movement, a lot of action being taken over that left-hand side. Goodwin riding the tackle, takes a bounce, goes for the spin underneath Keir Hunter. Well, that's how he scored the first 2 goals yesterday. Saw the opportunity to do again, did Ryan Goodwin. And wow, that is a very aggressive-looking 3-2-1 from Manchester Hawks. It's almost bordering on 3-3 or 4-2 at times. Cardona forcing Estevans the long way round. But Estevans gaining enough traction and enough speed and momentum to go through and score a good goal as well facing, well, having to angle his body the wrong way. Manchester Hawks try and quickly get up the other end. Second phase of attack now. Cardona goes through, and he gets the goal as well. And this is sort of what I expected. I think this is what most people expected as well. A fast, intense game. It's what everybody was hoping for, even if... oh, and that's Howard giving away the penalty, and a 2-minute suspension as well. From the wing, you'd really have to be very, very careful. You really can't move at all. He goes across, and yeah, he's a little bit late with that movement. That right foot's just a little bit too far away from him. Oh, I've just given him a goal, not a 2-minute suspension on my little score sheet. So, Sean Byron, who was the designated penalty taker yesterday, steps up and beats Jared as well. Jared James in goal. They do have 3 goalkeepers here today, Manchester Hawks. They have Tom Marsden and Alex Bradley, along with Jared James. Good little options, I suppose. If one is slightly out of form, you can just try the other one. Stick them straight in, see what happens. Quite a lot of the time, actually works quite well, because they're all very high-level goalkeepers as well. Cardona looking for the offload to Maja. Offloads it back to Cardona. Goes for the shot. Saved by Keir Hunter. Second big save of the game. Ross Strachan takes the attack forward, tries to flare it. Tries to get it to Blair. I think I meant to say fire and Blair all at the same time, and I said flare. I meant to fire it at Blair. There we go. Didn't work, forcing the play. Cardona out, trying to fake the pass, trying to go through the middle. Two Strachan stopping that in its tracks. They are brothers, by the way, apparently. Good win. Cardona to Maja, to the post. Bit of a tight angle, that one. You can see how desperate he is to get involved, though, Maja. He's taken 3 or 4 shots that you think, a little bit close, a little bit tight. Chris White coming on at the left back then. Obviously senior GB representative for Livingston. They move the ball. Ross Strachan. Out to the left wing. Good pass. Oh. Bit too much contact. Out to the right wing. And it's a goal by the number 3. Dean Webster. Good build-up play there by Livingston. Was patient on the ball, kept recycling it, kept moving it. And it's 4-2 to Livingston. Not that Hawks will be too worried. This is similar to how EK came out against them yesterday in the semi-finals, and they managed to bring that one back. Livingston seem a bit more of a together defence anyway, though. They try and bounce the ball to Howarth. Maja tempting the tackle to come in, trying to move the defence. Cardona goes straight through the middle. I think it was given as a foul due to the fact that he was travelling at the same time. Gets to keep the ball, but not the goal. Cardona moving it to Ed Page, who steps inside. Difficult as a right-hander to try and go that way. Livingston go at the other end. Is that Lewis Gannon? Great save by Jared. It was Lewis Gannon, but Jared with a massive save. And there's the goal, though, scored at the other end. As I was trying to find Jared's name, Cardona, by the looks of it. Livingston get the ball back now. Fraser Murr's gone for that sort of 5-1 looking at defence. And, well, Livingston, I thought the ball was slapped out of his hands there, but I think he just lost it. Great interception there by Gannon. They slow it down once more. Fraser Moore then, I said it a bit yesterday, it is still a 3-2-1 defence that they're employing, but it's not as aggressive as it was. However, Fraser Moore's gone up to try and intercept the ball. That's pretty much what he's there for, that and counter-attacking opportunities. He's not necessarily there as a big defender. He's not trying to make massive tackles. But he is there in case the ball gets turned over. And Hawks are confident in the fact that their 5 that's surrounding the 6 metres are good enough to get the ball to be turned over. Or at least Jared's good enough to save it and fire it up to Fraser Moore, who'll be on the fast break pretty much instantly. Lewis Gannon to Strachan. To the 8. Out to Estevans. He is Scottish. I know Estevans doesn't sound like the most Scottish name. It actually threw me out a little bit yesterday. Portuguese descent, apparently. And the ball gets to Howard. Smart little pass. Good finish as well. I'm not even sure Howard really expected that one. These two teams trading blows. 5-4. Goal a minute so far in this 9-minute game. Estevans moved the ball. Too much space. Ross Gannon. You won't have to ask him twice. Lovely finish. But he did have one of the easier goals that we'll see so far today open up in front of him. Ed Page looks to go inside. A wall of Livingston defenders in his way, though. Very hard team to break through. Very compact. Very good one-on-one. Fraser Moore trying to force the ball to Howarth. Wasn't happening. Shack it up. Lewis Gannon. Goal! The number 17. He was brilliant yesterday. He's carried the momentum into today. I think he finished the game with 6. He did indeed against Olympia. You see why. Fast breaks are so deadly. Hawks thought they had a player up their sleeve with Muir. Gannon does exactly the same sort of job. Ed just seems a little bit stuck at that right back position. As I said, I can sort of understand why. It is difficult as a right-hander, but that doesn't mean nobody can do it. And Hawks do have a couple of players. Jamal left-hander, Steph Whaley played there for many years. Goodwin goes for the shot, a little bit forced. Not opening up Livingston at all at the moment. They find themselves 3 goals down. So as Livingston communicate on the court, what do they want to do? At the moment, they don't really have to do an awful lot to get through the Hawks' defence, although that's a little bit better from them. Have to reset. Wouldn't be surprised if passive play is called anytime soon. Here's Ross Strachan, and he just walks through. Well, walking's a little bit harsh, but it's not exactly complicated for Ross Strachan in that goal. Great finish by him. The intensity to get through. And Hawks just look a little bit lackluster, a little bit tired. Ed trying to do the same thing, going for that inside. Howarth then gets the game restarted. Cardona tries to go between the 1 and 2. Patrick Maja goes for the lob, but he was inside the area anyway. Livingston have the double of Hawks' score currently. 8-4. Great run. And got the shot away. Wasn't enough to get the foul. Jared has sent it up high to Maja. Can he get the shot away? Goes for the spin. Doesn't happen. Not good enough to, 1, beat Keir Hunter, 2, actually get into the goal. 2 bits of criteria that you need to score a goal, obviously against Livingston. As they try to get the ball moving a little bit quicker here. What can they do? Ross Gannon at his left back, Lewis Gannon at the left wing. Little cross between them. Lewis Gannon dragging a few defenders. Ross Gannon, he fires it over to Strachan and then to the wing. Couldn't make it work though. As there's a change for the left wing. And it's the number 91 comes on, Tailson Borges. Patrick Magic giving enough opportunities in the eyes of Donna Hankinson. Bit of a soft reset for them potentially. You never know, it can work wonders for some players. Cardona having the tackle made on him. They've actually gone for a double pivot. Ryan Goodwin in there. Ed Page forces it. They get a bit lucky to get the second opportunity, but it's not taken by Cardona. Ross Strachan moves it up the court. Again, still loads of space. Found Chris White, steps inside, forces the ball to the line, doesn't happen. Goodwin out to Fraser Moore. He's got 4-5 around him. And Hawks have to recycle it. And a timeout is called by Hawks, and it's not surprising. Livingston have started very well. They've come out, done everything they did yesterday well, but even better. Hawks have done basically everything they did yesterday, just not as well. In fact, they haven't actually. They haven't really even gone for the fast breaks. They haven't thrown the intensity at Livingston as they're known for. And the defending has been, well, just as bad. So timeout taken. What's Donna got up her sleeve? I think it's more motivation of the players and trying to get some energy in them. As I said, just look like they're not playing to their strengths. They're not playing that intense fashion that we're used to seeing. Livingston will be happy with how it's playing, especially this left-hand side. There's lots of space between the 1-2 defenders and the 2 and 3 even. 5-1 with Fraser Muir out front is a very effective one if you can get the ball turned over, but Livingston aren't allowing the ball to be turned over. It looks like Steph Whaley's come onto that right back position. What can he do? It did look like Ed Page was struggling a little bit on that right hand side. Can Steph get a modicum of control? A little bit more inventiveness about him. Did have a couple of good link-up plays with Mark Howard on the line yesterday. There's a little link-up with Ryan. The line player was free. Here's Steph. Looks for the line. Foul was given. And I thought Howard, I mean, you can't quite see it from this angle. It's happened so fast. I didn't know whether he was inside the area when he tried to catch the ball. Goodwin goes. There he goes. Very good at reading the body weight of the opposition, making the move left or right and go the opposite way. Scores his second of the game. Strachan moves it out. Estevan slows it down. Chris White comes back in at left back. Number 2 on the line for Livingston, Kostanas. So a little switch there. And Strachan goes through. Too much space in the centre. Too easy. Alex Bradley didn't stand a chance in goal. And Ross Strachan, who didn't score that many yesterday, is enjoying a bit of a more prolific game here. Whaley over the top to Howarth. Howarth shaking his head thinking, how am I supposed to get that? Goes out to White. Looks inside, nice little step there. Cardona intercepts it. He can't dribble it again, but it did look like he dribbled it as if it was a football. And there's a 2 minutes for batting the ball away. Cardona, bad to worse. It was a good little bit of reading of the play. Good interception. Ends up kicking it, and that's the problem. He ends up throwing it away as well after the whistle was blown. You're not allowed to do that. You may well be allowed to do it in football. You're not allowed to do it here. So first 2 minute suspension for, in fact, no, second 2 minute suspension, isn't it? Howard's already got one that Hawks have had. Out to the left wing. Big save by Alex Bradley. And then Page fights for the ball. Massive save by Bradders there. Tries to get the attack moving once more. They are a player down, remember those. They're going to have to take this slow. Johnny Howarth goes into the centre. No line back. No line back? No line or pivot player for the time being. Whaley goes to catch it. Misses the ball completely. first half of this first half is certainly Livingston's. Much to the joy, I'm sure, of the home fans up in the bleachers. Oh, Strachan Howard is about to not get a second 2 minutes. Would have been one hell of a goal if Strachan had actually got it between the sticks. So a 180 no scope. Here's White. Ed Page with a good tackle. Lewis Gannon out. Strachan out. It's a good goal if this goes in. But it doesn't. It hits the post. Gannon goes for the shot of the rebound. Livingston moving the ball really well, though. So dangerous with that, taking the contact and firing it in. Know exactly where everybody's going to be. Trust their handling ability as well. I have to say, I haven't seen much of Livingston before this weekend. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Really enjoyable team to watch. Very fast play, very physical, but also tactical side of the game is fantastic. Here they go, firing it over. Lewis Gannon bouncing it in. And the number 2 scores. Fraser Moore thought he was going to get a charging foul, but Kosanaz gets the goal instead. 10-5. Manchester Hawks are in trouble. Both of these teams already get European qualification if they want, or eligibility, I should say, actually. If they want it, they can go and play some qualifiers and for European tournaments. But it's whether or not they actually want to take it at the end. Very expensive, obviously, to go and compete in Europe. Moved out to Steph Whaley, bounces it inside. Cordona, Goodwin. Save by Keir Hunter, but I think the penalty's been given. For defending inside the area. Penalty. Cardona's going to take it. I get the impression that this needs to go in. Keir Hunter stands in the way. It's a good goal. It's underneath the goalkeeper's leg. Won't necessarily get the highlights. But it does beat the keeper, and that's the important thing, I suppose, from Manchester Hawks' perspective. So Livingston, Chris White on the ball. Dictating where the line player should go. Kosanaz. Little move there by Strachan. White comes back into the centre. Steps through Howarth. Goes with the left hand. Bradders saves it. Moves the ball back out. Livingston aren't done here. Strachan trying to dictate what's happening next then. Once he got up the sleeve. A little bit of change of position. Into the line. Line was free. Cardona just about recovered in time. Saw the threat, recovered. White still in the centre. That means Ross still out wide, I'm guessing. And the ball is intercepted. Goodwin, through on goal. Goes for the spin. Hits the post. And Keir Hunter, well, I'm going to give him the goal again. I think yesterday I was accused of he got a little nick. And I said it hit the post. Well, I think he got a little nick onto the post that time. Goodwin will be wanting that one again. Penalty given then. For Livingston. Up steps. Sean Byron. Once more. Bradders has already made one big save. Has he got another one in the locker? It's off the post. It's not Bradders' save. I'm not putting it down as a save anyway, but it's a good omen for Manchester Hawks. With 10 minutes to go, they can reduce the lead to 3. Howarth moving over to between the 2 and 3 defender on Steph Whaley's side then. Second line going in by Fraser Moore. Cardona going for the shot. Good tackle there by Ross Strachan. Celebrates it as if he scored. And fair he should. Whaley moves the ball out. Here goes the left winger. And it's a good goal. Tailson Morgas with his first of the final, and I think first of the tournament as well. I'm just having a look. No, he got one yesterday in all fairness. And they do reduce the lead to 3. They need to stop Livingston on this attack though. The defence has been slightly better for Hawks recently, and it's better again with Alex Bradley in goal. They fire it up the court. Fraser Moore! Great save by Keir Hunter. That's 4 crucial saves that he's made so far. The Manchester Hawks are starting to get a little bit more of a grip in this game. Is that Callahan coming on to the right wing for Livingston? Yes, it is. 8 to go. I think they've stopped the 5-1, the 3-2-1, haven't they? That's been the biggest difference tactically that Hawks have had. They've gone to a 6-0, and it's leaving a lot less room. Cardona goes for the shot, and it's in. Cardona gets the goal. I think it took a couple of deflections. He won't care. Manchester Hawks won't care. Cardona gets his 4th. And as I said, I think that changed from a 5-1 or 3-2-1, whatever Donna wants to call it these days, down to a 6-0. It's been a big influence on actually cutting out the space for Livingston. Haven't quite enjoyed the momentum that they enjoyed earlier on. Chris White, that's a charging foul though. Basically shoulder barged the defender out of the way. Don't get me wrong, I think the defender knew exactly what was happening. Doesn't mean that Chris White did it legally. Cardona moves it. Goodwin moves it. Couldn't get it to Whaley though. There was lots of space for Fraser Moore if they had managed that, but Goodwin's misplaced pass meant they couldn't. Chris White going through. Strachan out through the centre. Again, gives it another spin. Move it out to Lewis Gannon. Number 15 is Sean Byron, who's been coming on for the penalties. He's now come back on at left back. White's over to the right back. Strachan takes a shot, and Alex Bradley saves it once more. As far as I've been counting, that's Alex Bradley up to 4 crucial saves as well. Him and Keir Hunter having a similar type of game. Whaley trying to ride the tackles, move the ball on. Howarth getting told to actually take the free throw from where it actually was fouled from. Here goes Whaley, moves it on. Goodwin got the goal, but he also got the foul at the same time. I'm guessing he was travelling. 6 minutes to go actually. 10-8, 2-goal game all of a sudden. Livingston still in the lead. But it has gotten a little bit more difficult for them. I think it's gotten a little bit more secure as well from Hawks as Steph Whaley's come on. He has missed a few slightly easier ones, you would argue, but a little bit more ball movement, a little bit more of a flow in the attack for them. Goodwin comes behind Cardona. Whaley now. Jamal's gone on the right wing. Ever the athletic and unpredictable nature of Jamal Braithwaite. Got a hell of a leap, a hell of an arm. Doesn't necessarily mean he's always going on target. Cardona though, he's got a hell of a leap. He's got a hell of an arm as well. And he's scored one more goal for him. That's 5 in the game. And a timeout called by Livingston. And a cheer coming from the other end of the court this time as Hawks feel like they've actually forced the issue now. Livingston taking that timeout to try and stem the tide before half-time comes around. Little replay of Cardona's 5th goal there. Donna will be slightly more happy with what she's seen. Amazingly, it's actually slightly going back to what Hawks don't necessarily, well, what they're not known for. Not what Hawks are known for, that's what I am trying to say. It's been a long 2 days, ladies and gentlemen. Going to a 6-0 defence, tight, building the play up, moving the Livingston defence rather than just trying to overload them in the first 2 phases of attack. I think Livingston, Alan Stokes, probably just trying to remind them of what they were doing well earlier on. Yes, there's less space, but that doesn't mean that they can't keep the ball moving, can't keep the runs going, the intensity up as well. As Livingston get us back underway, with 5 to go. This is probably the type of game that we were expecting. Well, maybe not the way it's gone, but the scoreline is sort of what we were expecting though. Very tight, very cagey. The game has been anything but that, I would say, actually. It's been quite free-flowing. Bit tactical. White, ooh, he was a little bit through there. I would have expected the shot to be flown through the centre after beating Cardona. He looks to beat him again. Doesn't manage it. Cardona fouls him. Gives the call as the movement goes round. Ross Strachan here at the centre. Gives a step at Cardona. Oh, and gives the fake as well. Goodwin sells him for a hot dog. Strachan gets the goal. His third of the game. 11-9 now. Still a 2-goal game. Cardona goes for it. So powerful, so strong. Even when the flow of the game isn't going his way or Hawks' way, he can just pull out that sort of windmill move, and through he goes, try and get the shot. Cardona goes inside, offloads it to Whaley, takes the bounce, looks for the shot, gives it to Goodwin, who fakes to the wing, and it's a great save by Keir Hunter. That's his 5th big save of the day. White breaks. Blair Strachan is free on the line. Tries to give it to Lewis. No, it's not Lewis Gannon anymore, is it? Not sure who it is. I don't think that was the number 17, sorry. I think it may have been Ross Mineta in the number 9, the left wing. It is the number 9, Ross Mineta. Strachan moving it out. Livingston players falling over each other somewhat. White, there's plenty of space for him to fire it though. Ed Page, you can't leave him that much room. Chris White goes through, scores the goal. As I said before, senior GB player. Oh, and Jimmy. GB player in his own right. The number 45 gets the goal. First time he's really touched the ball on that right-hand side. Well, the right wing anyway. Through they go. We're starting to get a gush of goals before half-time. Is that Callahan? Fair play. Goodwin sees the space. Couldn't quite get into it. As they switch over a few of the players. Cardona looks to step inside. Not allowed by Ross Strachan, who again have gone slightly shallower than they did against Olympia in their defence. Callahan steals the ball. Strachan picks it up. Slows it down though. Not enough good options ahead of him for him to risk throwing the ball away. 2 minutes before the end. They've already got a 3-goal lead. They can make it 4 again. And that's exactly the objective that Livingston are looking for, aren't they, as they edge towards the gold medal. Oh! There was a smash on the floor there. I'm not entirely sure what body part caused it. Obviously, I don't think it was the head. He's not holding his head, which is something we're pleased about. But we're not pleased to see him on the floor at all, obviously. It may have been his back slap at the, on the floor. 2 minute suspension. But I think Howarth, and after the noise, at least, I don't think anybody is surprised. Didn't look like the contact was very good at the best of times, though. Wright was through on goal. Going through on the side, potentially was Howarth. See if we can get a replay of it, potentially. But Chris White is back on his feet. Alex Bradley, who's had a good game there. So Hawks down to 6 players yet again, and I think that's Howard's second 2 minute suspension. One more and he'll be given a red card, and well, that's not what you need at the beginning of the second half looming over your head, because that will take Hawks into the half-time period with a player down. White tries to go through. Braithwaite ends up helping out Ed Page there a little bit, leaving the winger a little bit free, but obviously Jamal thinking that that's a better option, give it to the winger than allow Chris to run through. Tend to agree with him. As Jimmy doesn't cause a foul there, apparently. Blair Strachan couldn't get the ball under his spell as he was leaning back in. Both of those players, I think, were in the area, in all fairness. So Ed Page back at the right back position. This is how they pretty much started, although albeit they had 7 players on the court when they started the game. Patrick Madger actually at left wing as well. Here goes Goodwin, trying to find the space, trying to give him the step, taking the foul. Goodwin through. Is that a penalty been given? Yep, holding of the arm and inside the area. Multiple reasons why that was a penalty. Hawks have a good opportunity here to bring it back to a 2-goal game with half-time looming. Cardona steps up. We've got a changing goalkeeper. Number 12, Sam McEwen. Cardona scored 1. Oh, no mistake in the second one. That's his 6th of the game. Only a couple of seconds left. And there goes the buzzer. Banners just throws it needlessly, I would say. He said matter of inches. Well, yeah, if buzzer hadn't gone that early, yeah, maybe. But a close game in the end as we go into half-time. Howard is having a word with the referee. I think he's going to get that 2 minutes rescinded. 13-11 to Livingston. It'll be a popular scoreline this side of the border. Can you guess where we are by the back of McEwen's hair? It was a good game so far though. Livingston doing what they were doing well yesterday and carrying that on into today's game. Hawks just looked sluggish. They didn't almost look awake even though it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And after a tactical change, going from that a really aggressive 3-2-1, they went to a 3-2-1. It was bordering on a 5-1. And now they've gone to a 6-0 defence. That's where the joy has been. Livingston haven't managed to eke their way through anywhere near as much as they did before. Howard giving away the penalty and the highlights there. And I can hear the raffle being read out behind me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a break from my incessant voice for the foreseeable, well, for about 5-10 minutes until we're back for the second half of the final here in the NorDan British Handball Super Cup between Livingston and Manchester Hawks. The score is 13-11, 30 more minutes to play this weekend, and then we will know who joins Olympia as Kings of Europe this time. And we are back. Livingston 13, North East Manchester Hawks 11. It's a bit of a hard to describe the kind of game we've had so far. Livingston looked like they were very much in control in the early stages. Manchester Hawks switched formation in defence, switched tactical setups a couple of times. That's helped them get back into this game. Livingston will probably be thinking that that 5-goal actually margin that they had at one point, it was 10-5. They've somewhat given it up. It just goes to show that any margin in handball is rectifiable, especially in the early stages. There is some of the Livingston fans. There's plenty of them in the middle of that stanchion. Here we go, Livingston to get us back underway then. What have they got up the sleeve? What can Hawks do? I'm pretty sure if Donna Hankinson wasn't very happy with how they performed yesterday, she definitely won't have been happy with how they performed in the first half of that half. They're going to have to come out a little bit more on top, a little bit more on board with the game plan in this second half. We haven't seen the usual intensity. It's been a bit more back to basics for Hawks. We have seen some really good shots stopped by Keir Hunter though. The officials make sure that the goal is up to standard. But Keir Hunter and Alex Badley, both of those players definitely stand out so far for their team. Cardona scored 6 for Hawks, whereas Livingston have shared the goals around a little bit more, and they've got one. I'm just trying to count them out here. I think they have 8 players, all with 1 goal. And then you have Ross Strachan with 3. And Matthew Estevans with 2. So, yeah, the goals being shared out a little bit more. In fact, I think it's 7 players with 1 goal. And that would make sense, because that would mean Ross Strachan with 3 and Estevans with 2 makes 13. So that's, I think my maths is just about adding up there. Here goes Chris White in the air. I think that's Ross Gannon in the number 8. It is indeed. Moves out to Estevans. Trying to get the shot away from the number 9, the right winger. But Alex Bradley coming away with winning that little battle. That's his 5th save. I think I said before we went into the break as well who will come out as Kings of Europe, which obviously just goes to show how long a weekend it's been, because that is absolute rubbish. Champions of Britain is what I was going for. Cardona goes for goal and gets one more to his name as well. He's not making any kind of mistakes so far today. White tries to offload it to Gannon. You got Lewis Gannon on the left wing as well still. Not quite as poignant as he was in the first game, in the semi-finals. But still doing a good job. White with the spin on Braithwaite. Lewis Gannon, as I say that, there his poignancy is. We've missed it. Lewis Gannon with his 2nd of the game. Waiting for the 2 minutes actually. 2 minutes have been given it to Jamal after pulling down Chris White, even though it finished in the goal. That doesn't allow Braithwaite to get away with it. So Hawks back with another 2-minute suspension. A player down. Howarth comes out to centre. Cardona trying to ride the tackle. Howarth gets the better of his man, who's trying a right wing. Oh, there's an opportunity for Goodwin to try and get the ball back, and it's dived upon by 14. John Amelia, who I just realised has come onto the court. Carl Barnes is on that right wing position now as well. So a couple of other players have come on for Hawks, try and freshen the pace up. Fresh legs, fresh ideas. See what they can do with it. But some of the old guards still in there. Cardona, Howarth, Goodwin. The core of this Hawks team, it seems. So as Cardona tries to find a way through, he's quite content with taking the fouls if they don't find a way through. As long as passive play isn't being called, they'll be happy to just keep hold of it. Passive play is now called as Goodwin tries to find a way through. Howarth looks to set up Cardona. I think we all know what's coming here. And it's a shot from the shoulder, but more to the point, I think. No, Gannon seems to be getting up. Ross Gannon, I thought there was a little bit of a potential knee problem, but no, I think he's just saying that he got pulled to the floor. Not sure by who, particularly, whether it was Goodwin or whether it was Cardona. I think it was Cardona, but Cardona was taking the shot, so. Ball gets moved. White to Estevans. White sees the opportunity to go through the centre. Cardona rushed out, left a massive hole. Don't need to ask him twice. (15-12), 3-goal game. 4 minutes into the second half, nearly. Jamal has come back on to the right back position. Carl Barnes has stayed over to the right wing. Braithwaite looking for the pass to the line, forcing it to Goodwin. Here is Cardona trying to use the line. There's the space in the centre for Goodwin. 2 players came over with Howarth. That was seen by Goodwin. He scores his 3rd. And as White went straight through the Hawks defence, Goodwin goes straight through the Livingston defence. It's very quiet out in the crowd there. It seems very quiet on court as well as they just pass it from left to right. Here we go, starting a little bit more penetration. Estevans with the shot, comes off the post. They do get the ball back, but it was from inside the area, so Alex Badley will pick that one up. Away he goes. Not surprising to see him still in there. Goodwin looks for the pass. Livingston don't commit the foul, and they get the ball back. Forcing the play, trying to do what they usually do here, Hawks. Go quick in the transitions, but it is a little bit risky. Normally so efficient with it, so good with it. The crowd has gone slightly quiet here. I was expecting it a little bit more lively. Especially with Livingston winning 15-13. I'm actually going to take my earphones off. I can hear a lone clang of some kind of instrument as a little bit of atmosphere is attempted to be made. But to be fair, Livingston, they just don't seem too committed to actually trying to go for the goal. I mean, there we go. The first time they actually run towards the goal is they take a shot immediately. It's like they've fallen flat. I'm not entirely sure why. They have no real reason. They're still leading. And actually, as Hawks get the ball, I can hear a drum in the background. Maybe it's to try and put them off or something. I'm not entirely sure. I think it sort of adds to the fire a little bit in the bellies. Olympia with all their medals sat in that grandstand. Obviously, women winning the final against West London Eagles about an hour ago. And the men's beating EK82 for that 3rd place. That's going to be a penalty unless they get the goal. Howarth does get the goal. I think that's his 2nd of the game. Now has just about as many goals as he has 2 minutes. And there's Chris White getting up and beyond the other defenders. 3 to his name. 16-14. Hawks definitely making a game of this since they've got back into it. Jimmy looking out, fires the ball over to Cardona. Doesn't get the ball out to Goodwin. Turns it over instead. Lewis Gannon doing what he does best on the fast break. And Alex Bradley doing what he does best. Saving a goal and giving a bellow. And that's his 6th save of the game. Him and Keir Hunter are definitely sharing out the plaudits for the goalkeepers. Goodwin trying to find the gap. That Cardona prized open. Wasn't to be just yet. Goes round. That's going to be travel. And a 2-minute suspension as well given to Blair Strachan. I think that's the first 2-minute suspension that Livingston have got this game. And Hawks need to take advantage of it. They want to get back on level terms. They want to gain some momentum themselves. And I think Livingston are actually a little bit flat regardless. John Amelia moves the ball round. Apparently he wasn't very happy with my comments about him being 180 centimetres. As the penalty gets given. Is this going to be another 2-minute suspension? I think the referees are going to have a discussion about it. Ross Gannon is the player in question. Nope, he gets away with it. Penalty to Cardona though. Steps up against Keir Hunter. Can Keir Hunter bring himself on level terms with Alex Bradley? No, he cannot. Not this time round anyway. Cardona with his 8th of the game. And Livingston going to have to do this next couple of minutes with a player down. What can they muster up? 1-goal game. Hawks have gone man-to-man. Carl Barnes out towards Chris White. Livingston will attack with 4. Here's Estevans. Moving out to the number 3, Dean Webster. One of the early goal scorers in this game. Ross Gannon. Estevans intercepted by Goodwin, who should be cleaning away. And scores the goal as well. I actually thought there might be a suspect that he put that wide. But no, he doesn't. He scores his 4th after intercepting that one. I said they need to take advantage. Well, scoring 2 goals is definitely doing that. He's back. They're back on level terms. 16 all. 8.5 minutes into this second half. 22 to go. So they moved White out to the left wing. That's why it doesn't look like they're man marking anymore. But Jimmy has actually gone up to press the issue anyway. Here we go. White trying to come back round. Barnes doing a good job at keeping him quiet. Goodwin trying to get in the way. Lewis Gannon Cardona giving the penalty away though. Good spin there by Gannon. Good intensity to get into the shooting position, forcing Manchester Hawks to give them the penalty. Carl Barnes picking the ball up. I'm not sure he'll be taking this one. But it's the old reliable Sean Byron stepping up against Alex Bradley. That penalty taker extraordinaire. They're most trusted by the seams of it. Scores again. He hasn't let them down yet so far today. He only missed one yesterday, I believe, as well. Hawks wanted to get on with this while they still had the player advantage. Jimmy moves the ball out to Goodwin. There's move and space on the left wing. They choose not to take it. Cardona goes to the line. Howarth goes for the goal. I've scribbled out so many points for Howard. I think he's got 3. I keep accidentally giving him a goal whenever he gives him a 2 minutes, which I'm sure is how he would hope it would work. But I think he's got 3 goals. 17 all. And I believe Livingston back to their full complement of players now. 10 minutes into this second half. They can start building some kind of momentum and some kind of attack. Livingston hearing the crowd now a little bit louder for them, trying to give them something. A pass to the line is not what they're giving them though. Cardona with the interception, then turns it round. Ed Page, though, he stops bouncing it. You got to wonder why. Jimmy picks it up. Goes for the shot. That's what he's capable of. We don't see it as much anymore. But the athleticism is still there. Jamal Braithwaite. Very good goal there. It was a bit of a strange counter-attack, as I said. Ed Page deciding just to stop bouncing it. Almost travelled, just chucked the ball away so he didn't travel. Luckily, Jimmy picks it up. But there was a hint of luck about that fast break, I'll be honest. And are Livingston down a player? No, they're just being... they're just marking out. Manchester Hawks just marking out Chris White, I think. As there we go. Mott boys are back. Yeah, Carl Barnes just giving, even though Manchester Hawks aren't at their full complement, Carl Barnes just giving the job to just go and man mark Chris White as close as you can. We'll defend with 5 and try our best against the rest of the Livingston team. Now this is interesting because it's sort of, and there we go, that's how Carl Barnes, that's how closely he's, how attentive he's being, I should say. Interesting really, because this is what Olympia decided to do to EK. And getting Keeley out of the game. Well, they want Chris White out of the game. Now, apparently, Livingston have done the majority this season without Chris White. Still winning the league. As Chris was playing in Portugal, I believe. So they don't necessarily need him. And Ross Gannon proving that. I wouldn't be surprised if this is what Hawks want to do. that Livingston just take him off. And play as if they have been in the league. Carl Barnes showing that he's not just there for defence though, scoring a good goal. 18-19, first time Hawks have taken the lead. I believe in the entire game, actually, thinking about it. Maybe in the very early stages, maybe they scored the first goal or second goal, but I can't remember them being in the lead for longer than about a minute or two, if even that. So I think they have taken White off. So Hawks have gone back down to the 6-0. Gannon should have scored that one. Howarth with a little spin and the interception. Carl Barnes goes up the other end and secures the goal. And we're starting to see the fast break, the turnover that we expect to see from Hawks. They finally found a bit of intensity about themselves. Livingston are now going to have to live with what we tend to know in England as the Manchester Hawks way of playing. Chris White actually hasn't gone off the court. He's just gone to that pivot position. And, well, they were so interested in where Chris White was moving to that they had to recover to go and get Ross Gannon. And giving away the penalty, they didn't recover quick enough. Sean Byron, I'm guessing, is meandering his way over to the penalty spot. There he is. Scored so far 2. Will this be his 3rd? Yes, it is. Sean Byron with his 3rd. So Hawks with 20, Livingston with 19. Very close game all of a sudden. Nearly halfway through the second half. And I'm sort of wishing we had another half to go. Oh, Jimmy off the post. Carl Barnes full of confidence. But McEwen saves it. Good save by McEwen. Very vital indeed. Little step from Gannon. Jimmy tries to get out there. Estevans from the left back position. Couldn't get there. And it's sent through by Page. All the way up to Goodwin for his 5th. "14 minutes in. It's amazing how quick Handball can turn around. It's a 2-goal game. But this time, it's Hawks that have the 2-goal advantage. Now I can understand why the home fans are slightly quieter, shall we say, than they were before. Livingston's play, throwing the ball away a couple of times too quickly. Gannon trying his best. Throws the ball loose there, though. They pick it up. Estevans, passive play is being called. Gannon trying to get around Cordona. Not possible. Rory Semple has come on for Livingston. He was the right back. He's at centre here now. Bounces the ball, moves it. Not good enough, but it's going to be a corner. Not 100% sure how many passes left of passive play. White goes for it. Howarth and Page double up. I'm guessing the shot's pretty much going to have to come from here. Bannon saves it. Remains 19-21. Livingston seem to have not run out of ideas. I'm sure they've got plenty in the locker, but haven't found the key for them yet. Hawks, on the other hand, have started to up the intensity in their transitions. Patrick Madger back onto the left wing. Carl Barnes has really helped to the right. Cordona doesn't quite get his hands on it. Eventually he does, but it's not good enough to beat Sam McEwen. Another great save by him. Could he be the inspiration that Livingston need? Alex Badley with the save. Battle of the goalkeepers. It's been that way pretty much all game. This time it's Sam McEwen instead of Hunter, though, as Carl Barnes sends it wide. And a timeout called by Livingston. And there's the man of the moment, Sam McEwen. Brilliant job by him in the last minute or so. High fives all round from his teammates. Donna coming back on. I think giving a little bit of a nod to Fraser Muir. A bit harsh on Carl Barnes if he gets brought off, to be fair. I think he's had a great game in the short amount of time that he's had on. So, The game has shifted. Alan Stokes knows that. He's trying to get his message across to the Livingston team. Keir Hunter's still a top performer for Livingston. Big 5 saves. Chris White with 3. He's had a couple of problems getting back into the game since Hawks have decided to take him out of it. Ross Strachan with 3. Sean Byron with 3 as well, all from the penalty spot. Ross Gannon with 2. Estevans with 2. Lewis Gannon, Sam McEwen. No, sorry, not Sam McEwen. They all have 2 as well. So the goals shared out somewhat a little bit more with the Livingston. Johnny Howarth has 3, Brian Goodwin has 5, Alex Bradley with 6 big saves, but Cardona is the real difference. He's got 8 goals so far. Carl Barnes has 2 since coming on. And Jamal Braithwaite, 1, an absolute stunner from about 10 or 11 metres. But he only has 2 to his name. Tailson Borges on the left wing has as well. In fact, he has 1 goal to his name, my apologies. Here is Gannon and Strachan. Strachan going to the left back. Ross Gannon in the centre. Moves it to Semple. Ross Gannon has space on the left wing. Lewis Gannon. Big save by Banners. And a big bellow once more. As I said, the big moments are actually coming from goalkeepers currently. Pretty much all game, actually. It's safe to say. I'd be absolutely amazed if Livingston don't give player of the match to Alex Bradley, the NorDan player of the match, of course. Patrick Maggio out on the left. Goodwin looking to get into the inside. Foul given. Gets it back out. Steph Whaley's got into centre, which means that Cardona has gone off the court for the first time this game. Maggio scores. He's come back on. Maybe with a fresh perspective. Chance to reset from him. He had a couple of shots in the first 5 minutes. They didn't go his way. They were difficult opportunities. It looked like he was in his own head. Fraser Moore has come on as well, and now he's been given the job of man marking Chris White when he's not in that pivot position. Cardona still coming on for defence by the looks of it. Ross Strachan finding his way past. Not quite all the way past Ryan Goodwin though. As he tries to dictate what's going to happen here in the Livingston attack. Lewis Gannon coming round. And it's a good shot by Strachan. It's a good opportunity anyway. Wasn't necessarily the best shot. As it looks like it was a save actually from Bradders. Went out as a throw-in. Thought it came off the post, but for it to be a Livingston ball, it must have come off Bradders. Gannon to Semple, and Semple over the bar. 19-22. The gap's starting to eke. But again, I would say a 3-goal game, even at this stage, with 12 minutes to go, or even 11 minutes to go, is not the end of the world. We've seen Livingston with quality. We've seen that they could get this one back. Strachan with the spin. Does get the ball in the net, but I think he was travelling. But it just feels a little flat from Livingston. I know I'm in a cupboard, but it just feels like the atmosphere has maybe been sucked out of it. To be honest, since the second half started, I haven't really felt like the same hasn't felt like the same venue that we had in the first half. I can hear small shouts of encouragement. Good movement there. That's a bit more like it from Livingston. Good movement from the centre. Offload the ball. Hit the space. And I think it was the number 8. Didn't actually get to see it, but his number. But I think it was Ross Gannon. I'm going to give it to him anyway. All of a sudden I can hear some trumpets. I can hear some drums in the background as well. And I can hear shouting and chanting finally from the crowd outside. That was going to help, although Howarth picks it up. And it's unfortunate for Livingston. Good reactions by Howarth, but from Livingston's perspective, that's just straight up not lucky. 4th goal for Howarth. Three-goal game again then. 10 to go in the last game here at the British Handball Super Cup. It has been somewhat of a festival of handball here. 8 games in total over the course of the last 2 days. I hope you've enjoyed it at home. I certainly have. It's maybe been a bit tiring, but it's been a hell of an experience. And I'm sure for the players out there, they'll have thoroughly enjoyed it as well. And Livingston, I'm sure, will enjoy it even more if they can get this 3-goal deficit back. There's a foul there. Cordona going through the back of the Livingston player. Ross Gannon, I believe that was. And Chris White has gone out to the centre. Strachan through. Semple caught. Howarth with a strong defence there, leaving the winger open, but as long as you secure the ball, it doesn't really matter. Strachan out to Lewis Gannon. Passive play is up. Strachan goes for the shot himself. Cordona blocks. Howarth has the ball. Cordona to break. His eyes are up looking for the options. Goes slightly slower to Goodwin, but he starts to charge. Well, they had 2 players off the court at that time, so taking the foul was probably the best thing to do. Of course, Goodwin, a senior GB representative himself. Whaley to try and get through from the left back. I could go through everyone who is a GB representative in these 2 teams, but to be honest, we'd be here all day. I might as well just read the team sheets out again. Trying a smart little cross there. Whaley to Goodwin. Didn't happen. Good defence. Good reading of the play there by Semple. Whaley into the centre. Ed Page looking to get through. It's a bit scrappy here from Hawks. They won't mind that too much. They are 3 goals to the good, and as long as passive play doesn't get called against them, they won't mind. I have a feeling it will do, and in fact, as soon as we see the referee, it is being called. Howarth trying to get the shot away between 2 defenders. It's not going to happen. Here goes Goodwin. I think he was trying to see a pass rather than an actual shot. Who are they lining this one up for? No Cardona on the court. Goodwin looking to go in as that second line. Whaley to do something inventive with it. And that wasn't what they needed. Livingston turn it over. They don't look for the break, although they could probably start looking that way if they really needed to. 7 minutes to go. 3-goal game. White goes through. Saved by Branners. I actually thought there was a foul in there somewhere, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the Livingston fans and players did as well. Certainly White did. Through they go again, and it's another save, and it's going to be a penalty. I have that down as 9 saves for Alex Bradley, but he's not going to be in goal for the penalty. Let me guess, Sean Byron's going to take it. Why wouldn't he? After scoring all of the penalties he's taken so far. Jared's back in net. We saw him earlier in the game. Sean Byron stepping him up. And getting the goal again. Mr. Reliable from the spot. Gives a little bit of hope Livingston's way. 2 goals. Wonder if Jared will stay in net, whether they'll be swapping him out as camera shot. I suppose we'll wait and see. Ryan putting Johnny where he needs him to be. 6 goals remaining. Ed Page on that right back again. Major on the left, Fraser Muir on the right. Steph Whaley. Little foul there. I think he got slightly lucky. Looked like he was caught. Whaley, good movement. Howarth, he's on the line. The good pass to him, but it wasn't brilliant positioning from Howarth. They were disappointed with that one. Strachan goes straight to the other end. Cardona gets back just in time. Considering he's only coming on for defence, a substitution was made very, very quickly. Cardona getting back. So Ross Gannon and Lewis Strachan changing positions. Semple on that right back. Here goes Strachan. Ooh, that would have been nice, wouldn't it? I'm sure he's probably thinking the same. Strachan into that line to try and get Chris White out of it. The ball moves to Semple. Goodwin was already on his way. He could see that the trap had been sprung, and as a timeout gets called for Manchester Hawks. They're still 2 up. Donna Hankinson's looking at this trying to think of something to secure this game. What she's also doing though is giving Livingston a chance to regroup, come up with something different. We are only a couple of minutes away from crowning one of these two teams a potential champion, but there is the opportunity for extra time as well. I believe in this tournament, pretty much every tournament is slightly different to how they deal with extra time. I believe there's 2 times 5 minute periods if we do go to extra time. So 2 halves of 5 minutes, that is, followed by a penalty shootout. Obviously, neither of the teams really want to go to that. They want to win it here and there. Here and now, even. There's the buzzer blows. Ryan Goodwin, Johnny Howarth will get us back underway with 5 to go. I think Howarth maybe with a bit too much tack on there, just dropping the ball. Didn't even bounce. Does help with the speed of play. Does tack, but sometimes can catch you out a little bit. It's a different sport when you're not allowed it. It doesn't help Cardona catch that one though. It's a bit of a poor pass. Shakin getting across. Goodwin tries to take the foul, and he does, and he just about gets away with not being in the area, and he gets between the ball and the goal. I'll give that as good defence there. It looked like it was a bit suspect. I thought he might have left it a little bit late, but he timed it perfectly. I'm going to guess that's Chris White is being marked out of this again, because we've only got 2 backcourt players. Lewis Gannon's gone narrow. It doesn't matter because he's been given the space to take the shot. Lewis Gannon with his 3rd 1-goal game. Oh, I'll tell you what, 4 minutes to go. This is what we've been waiting for. This kind of game. Olympia versus West London Eagles in the end was a little bit one-sided. Olympia came out right on top with that. But this is just as close as everyone wanted to see for the British Super Cup. Ed Page trying to bounce it in. Ooh, Livingston very close to getting away with that. I think they brought Cardona back on. Yeah, they have, the Hawks. So Cardona, Page and Goodwin, the 3 backcourt players, they move it out. And no foul given. Ed Page throws the ball away. Livingston move up, and I can tell you there's an atmosphere in there now. They can smell blood. Shakin, there's a very long way round. Goodwin doesn't really do much apart from stand there. Gets his body in the way. No 2 minutes, but obviously we have to worry about, well, not worry necessarily, but make sure that Strachan is up and able. Wow, actually, well, we'll call it a coming together. There's no real attempt at the actual tackle. Bit of a body bump there by Goodwin. Strachan's up and ready to go though. Here he is in the centre. Esteban's back in as well at right back. Gannon at left back. Have I missed something? Is there a player? I think I may have missed 2 minutes or something. What a goal there by Strachan. I'm very glad I didn't miss that one. What a goal. They aren't a player down. Oh, Cardona rattles it off the crossbar. Not what Hawks need. Livingston turn it up the other end. Lewis Gannon. Alex Bradley doing what he's done all game and getting Hawks out of a poor situation. This is getting very, very intense now, isn't it? 2.5 minutes. I apologise to the production team for potentially breaking their mic. This is what we've been hoping for. We wanted it to boil down to the last 5 minutes to be a really close game. Jamal's on the left, or on the right back now. Cardona trying to find the space. He ends up hitting the crossbar, but he gets the foul. Sam McEwen's in net. He's made a couple of big saves himself. 2 minutes to go. Jamal up, off the crossbar, off the post. I'm not really sure which one. Doesn't matter, does it? I suppose with the ball to have to act that way, it was off the post. Chris White to get up the other end. Fraser Muir's job is to get him out of the game. Ross Gannon Couldn't get past Goodwin. 23 all. Take your breath. Try and catch your breath if you can. I'm struggling. A minute and a half. Livingston's ball. They need to score from this. They're calling the play. Gannon in front. Esteban sees the gap. Cardona gets across. No penalty. They keep the ball though. We could be going to extra time. This could finish 23 or 24 all. 2 times 5 minutes plus penalties beckons. Livingston throw the ball away. They tried the ball over the top to Esteban. It was a decent idea. He had plenty of space. But Hawks, they want one attack. That's all they want. They don't want to turn this over. And they want a goal at the end of it, obviously. Maja, Cardona, Howarth on the line. Goodwin at centre. Jamal Braithwaite at right back. Fraser Moore at right wing. What do they have in the locker? Livingston with a strong defence all game. Goodwin tries to get through, but it's a good tackle by Estevans. A defence that could define a season here for the next 30 seconds. And as I try and get myself hyped, Donna Hankinson ruins the flow of my commentary by calling a timeout. I think we'll have about 20 or 22 seconds maybe remaining. I'm going to try and catch my breath before that 20 seconds occurs. There's the crowd, nervously waiting. Some of them on their feet. They can't stand sitting. The nerves jangling. The drums banging. This is it. Livingston want out onto the court. They want to get this going. There's still 10 seconds that Hawks could use here. Livingston just want to get out there. They want to get defending. They want to turn this ball over. How long is left on the clock? It's going to be 26 seconds remaining. Referees wait. The whistle blows. 26 seconds. Ross Strachan out on point. Estevans on the right back. Chris White. Howarth goes behind Goodwin. Cardona looks for the pass. Finds Goodwin. Chris White with the tackle. Passive play is called. Cardona. Cardona scores, but the foul was given. The foul was given. The buzzer goes. The goal was not given. It's still 23 all. And the shot has to be taken. I don't know if the timeout was given. They're going to pass it to Cardona. The buzzer hasn't quite gone. Chris White trying to sneak around the side. Cardona off. Cardona up. Cardona misses. We're going to extra time in the British Handball Super Cup. 2 times 5 minutes plus penalties. And I tell you what, I am very glad that I asked what happens if we draw a game yesterday at dinner to the 2 referees, because every tournament is different. Wow, well my heart rate's going. I can't imagine what it's like as a player, as a coach, as a fan, as a neutral fan. I'm nearly speechless. And as a commentator, that's not ideal. But that was thrilling. 23 all as it stands, and I'm going to run out of the door, see how long I've got, see if I can nip to the toilet. Basically, I'll see you in a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen.
NorDan British Handball Super Cup 2023 men's final. Livingston 23, NEM 23. One final push for the players. Let's make some noise.
We are back for extra time. I don't know if they were waiting for me, but I just about get back, sat in my seat and tried to catch my breath as well. Right, into extra time of the NorDan British Handball Super Cup. Maja, Sam McEwen with the save, but it's a goal in the end. So as I explained, just as we were finishing up in normal time, 2 times 5 minutes. In between, they only get a 1 minute break. After that, straight into penalties. This game isn't going to help me catch my breath, is it, either? Lewis Gannon moves the ball. Strachan out to Estevans. Oh, Maja pulling the player back a little bit there. Estevans doesn't complain too much about it. And some of the reactions of some of the fans out there as well when I was running past them, they were just as tense as you would expect. Even the neutrals, especially the Newcastle Vikings fans. Great shot, I think. Well, the way Bradders has celebrated, give him the save on that one. But here comes Maja, moving up. Cardona gets up in the air. No options. Jimmy's got his arms wide open on that right wing. Cardona didn't get the ball there though. He goes back to right back. Goodwin at centre. Moves it out to Cardona. It's a good, strong defence from Livingston. It has been all game. But Jimmy gets the goal. 3 for him in this game. 2 minutes. Almost halfway through this first period. Chris White being man-marked out of this. Fraser Muir has done a sterling job on him so far. Doesn't mean Livingston haven't had their opportunities, but it's a 2-goal game in such a short space of time. Could be crucial. Every goal counts, which sounds stupid to say because it normally does in a 60-minute game of handball. But it's so personified here when you've only got a small amount of time left. We're already a quarter of the way through this extra time. Livingston need to find themselves 2 goals to draw back level, even to take this to penalties. Maja has Estevans currently in his pocket as passive play is called. Gannon. Strachan. They're trying to set this one up. They got a 9-metre throw. Chris White wants to get involved finally. Muir straight out to him. I was expecting a shot from White. He's asking how many passes. 3, that's one of them. As the ball gets turned over. 1 too many. Goodwin to Jimmy. Wants to get the shot away. Gets it out to Howarth. Cardona. As Maja slows him down. No, he doesn't. He goes for the gap. Livingston living life on the edge, it seems. They really needed that to go in. They definitely didn't need to get it turned over. Here goes Goodwin. He's looking for the 2 minutes, but he gets the goal. He gets the goal. Goodwin. It's a 3-goal game. 23-26. And there will be another 5-minute period after this 5-minute period. But with only a 1-minute turnaround, Gannon needs to Livingston need to start scoring, and Gannon does exactly that. Ross Gannon. 24-26 now. 1 minute to go. And it's pretty much only like it's a timeout for this half-time period. Jimmy needs to keep his eye on the ball. The high pressure situation. You don't get this in league games. You only get this in tournament and cup competitions. Livingston go at the other end. Jimmy effectively with a slide tackle. Lewis Gannon's not very happy about it. Jamal's been given a 2 minutes and he's fair enough about it. He knows it was happening. Here's a replay of it. Yep, just gets his legs tangled up. Goes for a tumble, taking Lewis Gannon with him. I think he got a dead leg, but he's the more important thing is he's got a 2 minute suspension. And in a 10-minute period, that could be massive. They may have a 2-goal advantage. But now Livingston have a player advantage for the next 2 minutes. That means no man marking for Chris White. He's going to enjoy this, I'm sure. The next 30 seconds, and then for the next minute and a half after the half-time period, which remember is only 1 minute, 24-26. White assesses the options ahead of him. Strachan on the line by the looks of it. Estevans trying to tease out Madja. Gets it back. Finds some space. That's the nasty one. What are the referees going to do about this? Is there a question that he ducked down into it? That's what Madja's going to be complaining about. 2 referees discussing their points of view. And this would be disastrous if Hawks went down another player. Goodwin's saying he went down as well. Estevans, the most important thing is we make sure he's okay. And Alan Stokes is there. What is the referee's decision? It's a 2 minute suspension for Madja. Here's a replay of it. Estevans gets the ball back. Does he go down? Oh, no. That's a high one from Madja. Cardona sort of helped him into it. But that is definitely a 2 minute suspension. And I think a deserved one as well. So, Hawks, they had a 2-goal advantage. They still have a 2-goal advantage. There's about 20 seconds of this half remaining. Fraser Muir cuts that one out. 4 seconds of this half remaining. Chris White looks for the dummy, looks for the shot, throws it straight into the gut of Goodwin, who complains and then realises what's just occurred, that it's half-time. But for the next minute and a half, going into the second lot of extra time, Hawks are going to be a player down. That was Gannon's goal, just when they needed it. I think the only goal that Livingston got in that period. Well, just as I thought Hawks were starting to run away with it, they find a way to make it dramatic. They find a way to make it interesting. An opportunity for Livingston to get back into it. Chris White trying to spur his team on. Alan Stokes giving his input as well. Remember, there is only a minute. It's basically a timeout. This is tension written all over it. This is fitting to be the final game of the day. Livingston, last year, remember, it was an all-English affair. Hawks versus London GD. Oh no, nearly. This time, Livingston representing Scotland in one of the finals. Have strong support as well in the crowd. I'm sure they would love to see Livingston lift this trophy. Hawks are trying their best. They came second last year. They want to win it this year. They want the treble. But there are 2 players down for the next minute and a half of this 5-minute period. They have a 2-goal advantage. Chris White out to Ross Gannon. Alex Badley with a massive save. He's done it all game. He was crucial in getting them to the final of the English National Cup. He could be crucial at winning them the Super Cup. He's made 11 saves so far in this game alone. 11 crucial saves. And Hawks just need to hold on to the ball. Keep moving off the ball. Try and run this down. They still need to attack. They still need to penetrate. Ed Page here, off to Goodwin. Ed Page to try and beat them one-on-one from the right wing. He had to take the shot. There was no options available. Strachan moves the ball up the court. Chris White They've still only got 4 players to attack against. 20 seconds I've just heard shouts before the first Hawks player can come back into action. Chris White out to Gannon, out to Lewis Gannon, saved by Alex Bradley! Wow, oh wow, what a day to remember from a goalkeeper that has experienced so much, not only with this club, with every club in England basically. And honestly, of all his GB exploits as well, this is going to be up there as one of his best games ever. Certainly one of the most memorable. Here goes Cardona. They've retained that 2-minute suspension as Muir extends it to 3. And they can't believe it. I can't believe it. Livingston probably can't believe it either. They're almost back to their full complement. In fact, they are. Back to 7 players, 3-goal advantage. 2 minutes into this 5-minute period. Out to the left wing. Alex Bradley with the save. How many times? Just stick it on record, stick it on repeat. Bradders with the save. I've actually ran out of room to mark how many saves he's made in the goals column. Ed Page, I thought he was going to get a travel there. 2.5 minutes. Have Livingston got it in them? They mark out Cardona. They leave space for Ed Page. It's another big save by a goalkeeper. This time it's Keir Hunter, who's definitely played his part in this final in helping Livingston get here. Two minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Chris White with a great step. Bradders with another save. If I'm going to keep reacting like I was before, I will lose my voice. I'll break the mic, and I'm pretty sure your phones at home will break as well with the speakers. 3 minutes. Gannon finally gets the goal. They finally find a way through. 27-25 with 2 minutes to go. This is possible. Goodwin looks to charge his way through. They pick it up. Straight up the other end. Chris White into the roof of the net. It's a 1-goal game. There's 90 seconds remaining. Howarth to Goodwin. Deciding not to try and take the entire team on this time. Madger needs to find a pass. He does in Ed Page. Gives it to Madger. Passive play will be called if they don't keep attacking. Madger gets through. Madger gets the goal. Wow, oh wow. Livingston goes straight at the other end. 2 goals, 1 minute. Up goes Estevans. Great block there by the Manchester Hawks defender. The kind of drama you just don't feel in other sports. It's so high scoring, and yet we still come out of it pretty much level. Chris White with the spin, Muir with the foul. They get on with it. 45 seconds remaining. Strachan into the second line movement. Number 3 gets the goal. Dean Webster. He may not be one of the superstars we've talked about so far in this game, but he scored, I believe, the first goal. Will that be Livingston's last goal? 30 seconds remaining. Ed Page drives through. He's going to have to take the shot, and he gets the goal as well. Ed Page, that may be the goal that wins it. The Manchester Hawks. 20 seconds. 15 seconds. Strachan blocked by Ryan Goodwin. Muir picks up the ball. He goes for the fast break. Madger! This is Manchester Hawks British Super Cup. The buzzer's about to go. Livingston played their part and then some. What a final to the most dramatic handball game I've ever commentated on. Potentially the most dramatic game that we've ever had in British Super Cup history as well. NEM Hawks take home the title, and I would write a protest if Alex Bradley doesn't get man of the match for that one. 30-27. That's the way to finish off a weekend, isn't it? A great game played by all. Fans on the edge of their seats. Commentators with lost voices. But ultimately, we have a silver and a gold medalist. These are the highlights. There will be a presentation done very quickly. That's Madger getting his 2-minute suspension. Straight after, I believe it was Muir getting his 2-minute suspension. At that point, I thought Livingston were going to go through. They were going to win this game. But Alex Badley had other ideas. Wow, oh wow. What a game of handball. How could you not love this sport? You could have watched 90 minutes of a specific of a sport and not seen an entire goal all day. But here and now, as I said, we've seen one of the most dramatic finals that I've ever seen in Britain. I haven't been around as long as some of the people in this stadium, but I would wager that they haven't seen one like that in modern times either. That's nice scenes as well. Alan Strachan congratulating Bradders. Gives a glance to the camera, surprised he didn't give a wink. Sam McEwen, the other goalkeeper, the number 12, played his part as well. And there will be a presentation. I'll give you 30 seconds to take a breather, grab a drink of water before we're back. For the player of the matches, the referees, the silver medals, and of course, the gold medal presentation. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
So the presentation will take place in a few minutes' time.
Yeah, and we're back for the presentation. We do have one thing to get to before we start with the match presentation. And that's, well, if you remember, just before the women's presentation, we saw a nice gesture towards Colin Wills. Well, this time, it's former Scotland representative Ian McKinven for Scottish Handball. Special recognition for him, and after a final like that, I'm sure he will remember it. Thank you very much, Ian, for all your hard work. As Ewan Hunter presents him with that one. There is Ian walking off. The two, the presentation team will be Mike Stevenson, Senior Manager in Strategic Marketing at NorDan UK, and CEO of Scotland Handball, Ewan Hunter. But we have obviously a fantastic set of referees. We had prizes, well, we had special thanks to Gianna Stella Marisi and Andrea Alejandra Pepe earlier on. Well, today and this game, we have special thanks to Matthias Falt And Michael Holm, a fantastic job of refereeing what was a very difficult game, I'm sure. Lots of emotion, lots on the line. Fans from the left, players on the right. And now we go to the players of the match. Remember, this is the NorDan players of the match. This is represented or chosen by the opposition's coach and bench. For this game for Livingston, it's Ross Gannon. Fully deserved of the player of the match for Livingston. And, well, you already know, ladies and gentlemen, what my vote would be for the overall player of the match and the NEM Hawks player of the match. And I'm confirmed. It's Alex Bradley. A smack of the chest. It couldn't be anybody else. Even if it was only, I say only, those 3 saves in the second half of extra time. Well, what a final. He gets his congratulations from all over. We have to give out the runners-up, the silver medals. They made a good game great. And it's Livingston representing Scotland in the finals of the British Handball Super Cup. They represented them brilliantly as well. There were periods of the game where they felt they will feel they probably underperformed. They took charge of the game early on in the first half. But as Hawks started to eke their way back in, they never recaptured the magic that they could earlier on in the game. And in that second half, they'll rue the period where they could have attacked against 4 men. And obviously, the finishing wasn't quite on point for them. Silver medals quite often go straight on to the neck. The photo's taken, then they come straight off. They'll be back next season, I'm sure. The quality that they possess in the squad is fantastic. As I said, I could go down and list you all of the GB representatives for Livingston and North East Manchester Hawks, but I might as well just be reading out the entire team sheet. As I said, they played a fantastic part in what was a brilliant final, and Alan Stokes, I'm sure, will be pleased with what they've done over the course of the season. Alan Strachan and Taylor Hoven will probably echo that thoughts. I know the fans of Scottish Handball, Ewan Hunter, just came in. He was saying that the feeling from some of the fans out there is their obvious disappointment. But they saw their team play brilliantly. And as I said, represent not only their team but the country with pride. But with the silver medals out of the way, it's about that time that we grant the gold medals and the trophy out to North East Manchester Hawks. They've done the double. The triple is still on the cards for them. The English Handball Premier League, the British Super Cup, and in a couple of weeks' time, just like Olympia earlier on, they have the chance to make it 3 trophies in a season in the EHA National Cup Finals. It'll be a thrilling game for sure. There'll be things they need to iron out from this weekend. They know that. Donna said that they've got to this point in the season, they don't feel like they've really particularly hit top gear yet. Whenever their attack goes well, the defence seems to suffer, and the other way round. They haven't quite struck the balance, which is an ominous sentence, an ominous feeling for the other teams up and down the country to think that these guys can get better. It wasn't a vintage performance, but they got the job done, which is exactly what they needed to do. And as Johnny Howarth gets the trophy for Mike Stevenson from NorDan UK, pictures will be taken before cheers erupt from the Manchester Hawks half. They're starting to get used to this winning feeling. It was second last year for them, but they're one step higher on the podium this time. The music's building in the background. Johnny Howarth is pulling this one very long. They build the atmosphere up, and Hawks are champions of Britain. The NorDan British Handball Super Cup crosses the border down south. One in London, one in Manchester. And as pictures will be taken, celebrations will be had, I'm sure. It's been an absolutely amazing weekend, capped off by one of the best finals we'll see in a while. From me, a big thank you to having me as your host for today. Not only you to those of you who have watched at home, but to Scottish Handball for inviting me up as well. It's been brilliant to work with QTV, who have brought you all the fantastic footage throughout the last 2 days. Big thank you to all the volunteers who have been at the event, as well as Scottish Handball representatives. All of the teams have put on a hell of a show for this weekend, and a big thanks to the supporters who have come down to create this amazing atmosphere. My name's been Jack Oliphant. We'll see you next year for the British Handball Super Cup. Good night.
Brian, Super Cup champs. How does that sound?
It's class. Jack, who interviewed me last week, he said, "Oh, what's it going to be like to win the double if we go and win the English Cup?" I said to him, "We want the triple. We want the British Cup as well." Unfortunately, I mean, credit to Livingston. What a game! We came in at the end of the 60 and we said, "How do you complain?" What a game that was. So it was unreal, and we get along with the Livingston lads. So what a game to play against half of your mates. Really good.
It was absolutely crazy to watch, an absolutely epic game and such a great advert for the sport of handball. What was the discussion going into the added time that you had to play there?
It was enjoy the game, and this is what we play for all season. It was don't make mistakes, which after 60 minutes your body's gone, your mind's gone. It was try and play as much as we can. Unfortunately, we got a 3-goal lead early on in the first 5 minutes, and we just kept going, fortunately, but what a game.
You had silver last year at this event, so how focused was the team on taking it that next step further and getting the win that you got today?
Yeah, it was big, to be honest. So it's big for Donna and Sue. They brought the club since I couldn't even tell you it. I'm too tired to think, but it's a big one for them both. It means loads. They want to win everything. We've done the league, we've done the Super Cup now, as I say. We want the cup as well to complete the triple, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, absolutely amazing work. Huge congratulations. Enjoy some celebrations and rest tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Ross, thanks for joining us. Sorry it wasn't the win you were looking for, but huge congratulations on the silver at the Super Cup. How are you guys feeling straight after the match?
Obviously, I think we're a bit devastated. We put a lot into that game. It's been a long season for us. We've had a lot of injuries, a lot of bumps in the road. We've lost players this season, so it's been a hard season for us. We've put a lot of work into it. Today, we were obviously hoping for the victory, but I feel we put a lot of effort in it. We played our style of handball. We talked about it. We've got the ability. It's now all about mindset for us, attitude, putting what we've trained into our performances, and I do feel we're getting there. We'll get this trophy at some point, maybe next year, who knows, but we're going to keep working hard. It's all we can do, and we'll be back.
It was an absolutely incredible game, and you have taken that next step going into the final this year from that tough loss in the semis last year. So has that given you some confidence going into next season?
Oh, of course, definitely. We're looking to build every season. You've got to get those milestones, those markers of where you're improving, and next year we've had our semi, we've had our final now. We're going to be looking to win this next year. That means we're working hard domestically, going through our league season. We've got our Celtic Cup games, of course, that we're going to be looking to improve on this year. And of course, we want to be back next season and really challenging for this trophy. That is our end game. That's what we're looking to do. So that's what we're looking for next season.
The final that you guys put on, the atmosphere in the room was absolutely amazing. You're quite a local team. We're in southwest Edinburgh. Livingston, a very, very local team. You had amazing support. How was it to have friends and family in the crowd today?
It's always nice to hear, to be honest. I know they've put a lot of work into it as well. We've had people making bunting and everything for us. So no, it's been great. It's great to hear the support, and it's nice to actually see that popularity in handball as well, and it growing within Britain. I think the event over this weekend's been fantastic. The floor, the way it's been organised, the interviewers, and the commentators as well. Everything. It's been a really, really good weekend, and I think this is what we need to build on in Britain. Build this level of handball up. We need to become that kind of sport that people are looking towards and thinking, might give that a try. And I think atmospheres like that, it's just going to encourage more people to join in, and that's exactly what we want in this sport.
Well, your play certainly led to it being a fantastic show for the sport. Huge congratulations once again. Enjoy some rest tonight.
Thank you. Well do. Thank you.
Thanks very much.